Happy Sunday, everybody. Meteorologist Keith Gibson in the First Alert Weather Center. What a windy day we've had. Hopefully you did not blow away. I will say that we've had some wind gusts between 40 and 50 in some spots. I think the peak gust in Green Bay, 46 officially. 51, we had a gust there in De Pere earlier today. It's still quite breezy out there right now. We're going to get into your weather discussion and talk about where we are headed for the coming week. We'll allow a couple of other folks to gather on into the stream here before we get going. And let me pop myself up here and we'll talk about the radar real quick. Let me switch this over and now we go like this. All right, great to see you tonight. This is First Alert Viper Max just after 8 o'clock, and we've been talking about the chance for some showers coming into our area this evening. That's what we've been discussing over the last 24 hours, and that remains on track. Some of us have already had a few drops of rain. We have a couple of showers from Lakewood down to Shawano, fairly weak in nature. But there's a little bit of rain out there. The more significant thunder and lightning and downpour activity has been out towards central Wisconsin. This is a live view with First Alert Viper Max from Rhinelander down to Wausau. West of Wittenberg right now, this is where we have some pretty good downpours and some frequent lightning and a pretty good light show across central Wisconsin. Now, some of us could have a little bit of a light show over the next little while across parts of north central and northeastern Wisconsin, but this is really weakening as it comes into our part of the state and our part of the region. So this is a bigger view. It's losing a lot of its punch as it continues to move to the east. There's been no severe weather in this, but there have been signatures on radar that there could have been a little bit of small hail with some of the thunder showers earlier back to the west. But no warnings were ever issued. We've had a lot of lightning being detected by radar, but this will be moving through as we go throughout the next couple of hours. And if you're wondering why it's so windy, well, it's because a cold front has been moving into the region, and that cold front is actually kicking off the showers and thunderstorms you see right there on radar. But once the front moves on through after midnight, the rain chances go away and the winds are really going to diminish. I know it's been a very windy day, but things will be improving as far as that is concerned. All right, let's recap today and the weekend. As a matter of fact, very, very warm records yesterday. These are the highs of record for today across Wisconsin and the region. 40s, 50s in the UP, which would be a very mild day this time of year, and it was. 60 in Green Bay, 2 degrees shy of the old record. 73 in Madison today, mid to upper 70s in southwestern Wisconsin and Iowa. Yet again, very, very warm. We were right on the edge of some very, very warm air today. Many of us stayed mild but not record setting. Some of us did have some record highs, and these are the new records that were established. Just a handful of records that we are listing here for today across the state of Wisconsin. Appleton, a new record of 63. Wausau at 63. Antigo, 55. And Eau Claire, 70. Madison, 73. La Crosse at 74. These are April-like temperatures, not necessarily early March temperatures. But this came with a lot of wind, as you well know. A cloudy start, but the afternoon was very nice, just downright windy. A little bit closer to home, you can see the breakdown. We still don't have the temperature sensor operational in Wautoma. Other variables are coming out of the Wautoma airport, but not the temperature. So it is not us at WBAY TV or any other television station. It's a sensor issue at the airport. We just can't display the number if you're wondering. But it was very, very mild there, as you can just tell with the colors and the temperature plot here. Warmest in the southwest today, much cooler across the north and east. Escanaba, Michigan, only 46. But Appleton, a new record high of 63. Now, these are wind gusts as of 8 o'clock, still gusting around 40 miles per hour at the Green Bay Airport, still around 30 in Sheboygan and Sturgeon Bay, 35 at Wausau. So it's still very blustery, or not blustery because it's mild. Let's just say it's still breezy. We're still out ahead of that cold front, and our winds will be backing off dramatically in a couple of hours. Gusty south to southeast winds now. This is the rest of tonight into tomorrow morning. This is where we are headed. We're going to have a wind shift with that front from the south and southeast. It's going to turn more to the west and northwest, and eventually by tomorrow into the from the northeast. And we will have much lighter wind tomorrow, especially when you wake up. It's not going to be windy at all. And winds tomorrow in general 5 to 10, maybe up to 15, but no gusts. on our Monday, at least during the daylight hours, it should be much improved as far as the wind factor. So here's the big picture. This is what we have going on right now. We have a couple of areas of low pressure. There's one up in Minnesota moving up into Canada. That cold front is the one coming our way, that little snaky blue line there. That is going to give us that opportunity for some showers this evening over the next couple of hours. And you see this other area of low pressure down in eastern Colorado. That's actually going to push back up along that front tomorrow afternoon and spark some additional showers, rain showers around our region. You may hear some rumbles of thunder. And, it's not going to be a major event for us, but we will take the rain for sure. It's been very, very dry. We have drought conditions, but we do have a decent chance for some widespread rain. Not so much this evening, but for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Predictor, let's start the clock right now at about 8:30. You can see that broken line of showers coming on into the west. That will be moving across the area. And by 8 o'clock in the morning, that's way off to the east. And I think we're actually going to have some late night clearing tonight. So we should wake up to a fair amount of sunshine on our Monday. So temperature-wise right now, we are in the 50s in most spots here across the area. But really a 20-degree spread from Escanaba to Fond du Lac, about 40 to 60 there. But most of us in the 50s right now. As we get behind the cold front tonight, this is where we're going to end up, I think, by tomorrow morning. Most of us, not all, but most of us in the 30s, ranging from the low 30s north and west in the North Woods, upper 30s to the Fox Valley and the Lakeshore, and maybe around 40, 41, 42, Sheboygan and Fond du Lac. That's still way above normal, but much cooler than where we have been today. So we are going to cool down late tonight behind that cold front. We'll see a little bit of clearing. And during the day tomorrow, still way above average, about 20 plus degrees above normal for this time of year, advertising most spots in the 50s. Could we do 60 in some locations? It's a possibility. We'll see how much sun we can get. The frontal boundary moving through tonight is going to stall out a little bit, and that position of the front tomorrow will determine exactly how warm we get, but it is going to be a mild day with many of us in the 50s. We should be in the mid-30s this time of year. And just breaking it down hour by hour, so when you wake up in the morning, light wind, probably mostly sunny or mostly clear to mostly sunny skies once the sun comes up. And we'll start out in the 30s to low 40s, a cool day, or cool start, but not cold by any means. And there should be some brighter skies, but as we go through time, we'll see more and more clouds during the day. The odds of rain will start to ramp up by the afternoon, really mid to late afternoon going into the evening. We're likely going to have some wet weather across our region. So let's get into the details here. Just to give you a heads up on the way this system's going to play out. We have these showers that will start to develop. Again, keep in mind that cold front moves through tonight. It's going to hang up a little bit in the region, probably just to our southeast tomorrow. During the whole day, that boundary is going to be around. So while we'll have a quiet start to the day, I think by the mid to late afternoon, things will be much different. This is 2 o'clock. And just keep in mind, this is just one run of predictor. This is one high-resolution computer model, but it's doing a decent job. I've been watching other runs too. We think the best chance for some more widespread rain by early afternoon is likely, not guaranteed here, but likely, more likely back to the west of the Fox Valley. As we go through time, though, going into the latter part of the afternoon and the early evening, some of that's going to shift to the east through the Fox Valley and over to the Lakeshore. So over time, we're going to see rain develop. But if you live from Green Bay, Appleton to the Lakeshore, we may have a good chunk of the morning into the afternoon without any wet weather whatsoever. Just keep in mind that as we get to the second part of the afternoon and evening, it is going to be pretty wet across our region. And the wind will start to increase from the north and northeast by tomorrow evening too. So it's going to be a little bit breezy. It's going to be a little bit wet. And we're going to have to deal with this tomorrow evening for sure. Now, notice across the North Woods where we are depicting some pink and some blue. That would be where some of that rain could switch over to a mix or some slushy snow. Possibility for some minor accumulations, a couple of slushy inches. Can't rule that out across the North Woods by Monday night once the system gets out of here, by the time it gets out of here. But most of us will not have any snow worries, at least as far as the Fox Valley or the Lakeshore. It's just going to be too warm for too long here. So not too concerned about any major winter impacts area-wide, but we'll be watching the North Woods tomorrow evening and tomorrow night for sure. That system clears out. And Tuesday morning, I think we'll have some clouds to start. It will be a little bit on the cooler side, but much like today, we will start to see a little bit more sunshine by the afternoon versus the morning. That would be on Tuesday with a northerly breeze. We'll have some fair skies for the middle of the week. Now, rainfall. I know we all want to see some rain. Things are pretty dry. We don't want to just keep going into this spring without any moisture. Now, I think the system's going to be kind of streaky as far as who's going to see the heaviest rainfall totals. You can kind of see that with the model depiction here. A couple of different lines from southwest to northeast, one across the north central part of the state into the north woods, one back to the west of the Fox Valley, another one to the southeast. That's where there could be some showers set up in these bands, and they could go over the same places a little bit longer and get some higher totals over ½ of an inch. And if you miss out on those little streaks, you may see less rainfall compared to your neighbors that actually get into one of those streaks. So at this point, 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch, pretty good broad range across the region, but not everybody's going to see those higher end totals, and not everybody's going to see the lower end totals either. Some of us could see some pretty good showers and maybe some thunder that could put down some heavier rain, but it all depends on exactly where these little streaks set up. So I'm just letting you know that yes, rain is a possibility tomorrow, but not everyone is going to get soaked. Much like this evening, we have a few showers and thunder showers around the region, but many of us not going to see any decent moisture tonight, but let's be more hopeful for tomorrow and tomorrow evening with the system coming on in. Things could change. This is just one depiction here, and other models show similar solutions, but different numbers on the breakdown. But we at least have some rain in the forecast here, some moisture. As far as snowfall, this is really honing in on areas across the north woods, north and west of our area for the most part, but let's just say from Lakewood north and west, a better chance for some snow accumulation versus south and east. This should be late tomorrow into tomorrow night. Better chance for some wet snow across the north woods, and if that does happen to develop, we'll have to watch out for some slippery spots and some slow travel going into that Tuesday morning commute, especially in the north. But at this point, doesn't look like a major ordeal for the Fox Valley, the Lakeshore, and south, but we will monitor things accordingly. Now, I mentioned you may hear some rumbles of thunder. With the cold front coming in tonight and stalling out probably just to our southeast tomorrow, that's going to limit any sizable thunderstorm that we could get here across northeastern Wisconsin. Don't really expect any strong or severe weather at this point, but you may hear some rumbles or see a flash of lightning tomorrow night, tomorrow evening. But there is a better chance, especially in far southern Wisconsin, south of I-94, where the atmosphere is going to be a little bit warmer, a little bit more unstable. So I would be a little bit more leery for the southern tier of the state, not so much for us. That is the severe weather breakdown for tomorrow. But just going to hedge and put things in low categories, as there will be some possibilities for some thunder on our Monday here. And I'm also highlighting Friday for a low-end severe weather risk, and that would be in the form of some rain or snow. And there could be another system at the end of the week that could produce some more wintry weather in the region. Keep in mind, March and April, we can see and we can get some pretty good snows in this region going into the back half of winter and into the first part of spring. So we're not done with snow by any means, and we'll just see how things shake out here. But something to watch for sure. So here's the big picture. Monday afternoon, rain showers, some thunder. We'll watch the north woods for some snow going into tomorrow night. And then as we get into the middle of the week, we're going to have an area of high pressure scoot down through the region. Most of that is going to, the core of it's going to stay to the north. Will be influenced by high pressure, which means fair conditions Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Varying amounts of cloud cover. Seasonably mild, temperatures in the 40s, but not as warm as where we've been. So we're going to bring the temperatures down. But it's still going to be way above normal, really above average for the entire week. And really, for the near-term forecast, we're going to stay mild. But going into Thursday, clouds really start to increase. And here's Friday. Depending on how this comes together, this is going to give us a chance for some rain, some snow, a mix. This could be good. It could be not. It may be significant. It may not be. It's just way too early, to be honest with you. Various models show various solutions. This is Sunday. This would be this upcoming Friday. There's going to be some sort of a system as we close out the week. So we're going to bookend the week with two systems, one tomorrow and another one on Friday, in between some pretty quiet weather here. So your 7-day forecast, this is the latest and greatest here. This is what we are thinking going into the next week. We have the 50s in store for our Monday. Rain developing, especially in the afternoon and evening. That will taper off by Tuesday, and our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, mid to upper 40s. Lows will be a little bit cooler, though. I think we're going to dip back down into the 20s area-wide here. So a little bit cooler in the middle of the week, mild in the day, cool again at night, but still way above average. Keep in mind, let's see, the average high rate now is 35, the average low is 19, so way above that for the entire week. But going into Friday, still thinking some 40s a possibility, and it's going to be a cold, damp kind of day if that system pans out on Friday, a chance of a wintry mix, and maybe a few flakes lingering into Saturday on the backside of it, along with some gusty breezes again. Probably not as windy as what we had today, but another breezy, cool type day before we see some drier weather by the end of next weekend into the start of next week. And I didn't put it on the 7-day here, which I'm going to do before our show tonight at 10 o'clock. We have the time change coming up next week. 1 week from today, we actually have the clocks that will be going ahead 1 hour. Let me move my graphics around here real quick. We have the clocks that will be springing ahead 2 o'clock in the morning next Sunday. And just to remind you that this would be a good time next weekend to prepare for it. Your digital clocks and phones automatically change, I'm sure. But if you have any analog clocks, if you want to swap out some of those batteries in your smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, any sort of equipment that needs a new battery at a certain point, that would be a good time to do it next weekend. But just before I close on out here, just want to give you another tour of the radar. Those showers coming into our neck of the woods are still very, very weak, and the ones in our area right now fairly minuscule in size and scope. Still some pretty good downpours out towards Stevens Point and central Wisconsin, Wausau, Rhinelander. Let me back this up just a little bit and show you this. So Wittenberg, western Shawano County, getting some decent shower activity now. Some of this may not be reaching the ground in its entirety. Some of the cloud bases have been a little bit higher today, but there's still some rain out there, some thunder and lightning, and that's still with those breezes too. But as we mentioned, the wind will be dying down as we go throughout the next couple of hours. The cold front moves on through, and things should be on the up and up as far as the wind after midnight. We'll have a dry start to tomorrow, but as we were just talking about here, we'll have some wet weather develop tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. So that's a little update on your forecast for this evening. Hope you had a great weekend, and hopefully you enjoyed the warm weather, but don't get lulled to sleep. We can still see some big systems this time of year, and it's just a matter of time, right? I feel like I've jinxed myself getting that new snowblower back a couple of weeks ago. Haven't had any major snow since, and we'll see what happens later on this spring. But right now it's going to be pretty mild for the next 7 days with a couple of weather makers, one tomorrow and also one on Friday. So have a good Sunday night, and we'll see you on TV, and hopefully see you at some point this week.